We're going to do a lovely fruit tart today. Now one can use whatever fruit is in season, and we've also used our vanilla cake mix to make a really nice pasty kind of a pastry thing. And then on top of the fruit tart we're putting a meringue. Now let's start at the end. In order to do the meringue, we need a spotlessly clean bowl. So squeeze a little bit of lemon juice in the bowl, wipe it out with a cut side of the lemon, dry it out to make sure you get everything out. Then the egg whites go into this bowl that we've cleaned so carefully, and the yolks go in a measuring cup with 2 tablespoons of water. Now in order to make the pastry, we need half a packet of our vanilla cake mix. The other half you can just roll up the packet, peg it closed and keep it in the fridge and use it next time. Now the butter is ice cold out of the fridge. So we're going to cut the butter in there, and then we're going to use a pastry cutter to cut the butter in fine little pieces into the dry mixture. Once you've cut the butter in with a pastry cutter, then it is a good idea to use your hands to do a final rubbing in so that you don't get pieces of butter that are too big. Now once we've rubbed the butter in nicely, beat the egg yolks with the water. Use a small knife initially to mix it with. Once you've mixed it in, sort of more or less, then the same action from the outside in. Don't think you need to add more water. Keep working it. Just while I'm working with this, the apples that we're going to use for the filling, we've microwaved them for about 4 minutes just to soften them a little bit. But obviously you need to let them cool down. There you are. You can see my pastry is now forming a ball. So now it's actually really important that you leave this pastry to sit in the fridge for a while before you roll it out. And when you're resting it in the fridge, we can use a piece of baking paper to rest it on, and then instead of keeping it like a round shape, flatten it. Then it makes the rolling out a lot easier. Now this will go in the fridge to mature a little bit and to soften. Now here's our rested pastry, which I have rolled out twice already because it just makes it a lot easier. But let me just show you that rolling. Don't be shy, you can use a fair amount of flour on your surface and flour on the rolling pin and gently back and forth, and just fold it up into thirds. I'm going to use this pan to bake it on, so I'm making sure that my paper is more or less this size. So just, you'll see how I use the paper to help me to enclose the fruit filling. Now there we are, we've rolled the pastry out. Do not be concerned about uneven, untidy edges. That'll all disappear like magic. But the real magic trick of this recipe is this piece of rice paper, because the fruit that we're going to use, we're going to put on the rice paper so that you don't get the pastry become soggy underneath. You can see the size of the pastry allows me a nice border around. This is the standard size rice paper. Now the apples are now just tender, so that they won't be too raw in the filling. 4 minutes in the microwave is more than enough. Now to the apples we add the zest of 1 lemon, the juice of about half a lemon, some strips of Turkish apricot, some raisins, and then everything is better with honey. So this utterly delicious fruit filling just gets mixed around. Now here we've got our little rice paper base, and now we spoon the fruit evenly over the rice paper. Now we want to not encase it completely but halfway, so let the paper help you, and then we bring the pastry up and over the filling. Just sprinkle a little bit of cinnamon, and we're not going to bake it in an excessively hot oven. 180 will do. Once you've cleaned the bowl and you've put the egg whites in there, then we can add a tiny little bit of lemon to strengthen the acid in the lemon strengthens the protein in the egg white. And Janet's going to beat it for us, and then I'll add the sugar very, very gradually. Can you see how thick, pointy and shiny the meringue is? That's exactly how it should look. And in fact, when you turn the bowl upside down, it shouldn't fall out of the bowl. Now the meringue is ready, and don't waste a single bit of this lovely meringue. Now blob the meringue on over the middle. Now we sprinkle a bit of flaked almonds over, 1 to 2 tablespoons will do the trick. Now this is a soft meringue. It won't go hard because we're just going to bake it at 180 until we have those lovely golden brown peaks. There you are, a marriage of meringue, apple, lovely buttery sweet vanilla flavored pastry. Can't do much better than that. Now obviously one can serve this with a little bit of ice cream if you like, or with some custard, or with some fresh strawberries. It'll also be quite delicious. What can I say? This is a marriage made in heaven.